This is X Factor the Legend. Welcome to Morse Code Production Labs. And if you were here before, thank you for being here again. This is our next installment in our series of InstaChord videos. And I promise you on the previous video that I would be explaining this section here, the voicing section. Now let me say that I am not a guitar player and I have not studied music theory from a guitar player's perspective. So an actual guitar player might disagree with some of what I am saying. It is possible. It is possible that they might and possible that they might not. And it is possible that they may also disagree with the data that I have extracted from both guitar plugins and InstaChord, but that's not on me. They'll have to take that up with the developers of those plugins. Anyway, I am going to show you MIDI that I have extracted from audio, but at first I am going to play the audio. So this is the first guitar plugin. That's a C major. It is this chord here, C major. Let's see if I can trigger it. Yeah, it's on a higher octave than this guitar. So yes, that's the C major chord. On InstaChord you have basic settings, which I was curious to know if it was basic as in our keyboard player would play it, or basic as for how a guitar player would play it. I have first and second inversion, and I also was curious if these were based off keyboard inversions, or I should say keyboard voicings, or if they were from guitar voicings. This one that says guitar obviously should be mimicking a guitar voicing, but as I said, I'm not a guitar player, so I had my doubts, so I wanted to investigate. So I extracted C major from two different guitar plugins because I wanted to compare them against each other and also compare them against InstaChord to see the similarities and the differences to hopefully help me understand guitar voicings better and understand what I am doing when I'm using InstaChord. So I'm going to share that with you now. This first guitar I could not get the audio analyzed from this chord style of playing, the way it is strummed, so I had to single out the notes. And when I singled out these notes, I got this MIDI. Okay, yes, I think that's it. Let me just get this. All right, good, because I wanted to actually be able to see the keys as well. Okay, it starts from C2. So we're trying to make the C major chord now. It starts from C2, then it goes to the 5th at G2. Then it goes to the other octave at C3. Then we finally complete the C major chord with E3. So we had the C and the G, and there's a C again, but we finally got the third of the chord to complete it. And then finally, the G is repeated. So as I said, I use multiple guitars. There's more than one. So this is the second guitar. And that's what I got. Luckily, I could have extracted the MIDI from this audio, so I didn't have to single out the notes. And from this, I got this MIDI. C2 again, like the previous MIDI region we were looking at. Then we skipped the E again and ended up at the G. So that's C2, G2. Then we ended up again an octave higher on the root note, which is the C. And it finished at E3. So unlike the previous example where we had G3, this one stopped at E3. But you can see the similarities in the way both plugins structured that C major chord, with only difference that the G was not repeated an octave higher. Now we are going to go to the basic setting for InstaChord, and on the basic setting you will notice, let's make sure that's all of them. Yes, you will notice that it's an octave higher, but it doesn't matter. You could transpose this if you like, but it starts at C3, then we get an E3. So unlike the previous regions before, there was no E, it went straight to G. This time the major chord is actually completed in the first octave that it starts from. So you C3, E3 and G3, completing the major chord immediately on this octave. On the following octave you also have C again at C4, again you have E, and again you have E at E4, and then you have a G. So there are similarities with all three regions. The first guitar finished on a G, and so did the basic settings for InstaChord. The difference with the basic setting on InstaChord and for the previous two examples was that there was no E at the first octave for those examples. It went from the root to the fifth, so that's from the C to the G. So I realized that this thing actually was laid out like a keyboard, the basic settings. But I also noticed that the actual guitars were laid out like a keyboard with the exception of the E at the first octave. So I instantly deduced that guitar voicings is not that drastically far apart from keyboard voicings. So, and we can go back to these again. These are based off guitar voicings. You have your C, your G. So it's following. It's actually following sequentially. Even though you don't get E, it's not like it was inverted or anything. It began at the C. It didn't begin at the E or the G. So it's C, G, and there is still no inversion here. This is a C, a E, and a G again. That's very basic. This basic for the guitar, or I should say this guitar setting that aligns with the basic setting for InstaChord is very, 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 very similar to keyboard voicings. So I was happy to discover that. So it's not like I was way off all these years when I brought up like guitar plugins and was actually applying keyboard voicings to them. It wasn't like I was committing any major crime. Anyway, we are now going to move to the basic. No, we did the basic before. We're going to move to the this one is the, give me a sec. Yeah, this is the guitar mode. That would be this one here, and we're going to do inversions after. So this is their guitar mode, and for the guitar mode you have the C, skipping the E like the first two MIDI regions that came from actual guitar audio. I should say guitar plugin audio. You skip the E and go directly to the G in this octave. Then you go up an octave to C again. Then you get the E. Then you get the G. And the C is repeated. So for InstaChord, it spans 3 octaves actually, because at C3 you have C, and at C5 you have C, obviously. In the middle here, in the octave between the 4 region, or in the 4 octave, you have C beginning it again, E, and then G. So this is where your chord really is completed, because there is no C, there is no E or G in the 5th octave, and there is no E in the 3rd octave. But the 4th octave gives you C, E, and G. It completes the full chord. You will notice that, as I said, you skip the E and go to the G. So this confirms now that these guitar plugins, according to what InstaChord has given us, is telling us that they have, even though they use, I think, less notes. I think the first one used one note less than this, and the second one used 2 notes less than this, but the layout is the same, starting from C. You have a C, you go directly to G, then you go to C again, and then you get an E. The second example would stop at this E. The first example would stop at this G. InstaChord gives you the C here again on this octave. So now we are going to look on the inversions. This is the first inversion. And in this one you do not start at the C, you actually start at the E. That's exactly what you would have done on a keyboard if you were doing the first inversion. First, the C is the first, it's the root, it's inverted all the way up here. And you have a E3, a G3, and it is repeated, I shouldn't say repeated, then on the octave above you then get a C, and then an E, and then a G. So this is basically like the basic setting for InstaChord, only with the root inverted all the way up here from C3 to C5. Now we are going to look at the second inversion, and if you have any idea of theory, I guess you would realize that it will begin at the G3, then go into C4, and you know the pattern by now, E, G, and then you get your C, which will usually be here, up here, and then the E. So I can conclude this video right here. I hope you have actually learned something from this, or get a better understanding of, say, guitar, like guitar voicings, and how they would be laid out on a piano roll, what other guitar plugins consider guitar voicings to be, and also what InstaChord considers to be basic guitar voicing, what it considers to be guitar voicing, inverted, first inversion guitar voicing, and second inversion guitar voicing. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, I hope you learn, and I hope you continue to watch and support the channel. Give a like and subscribe if you like the content and you like the way it's displayed. And thanks for watching. I actually appreciate it, but I really appreciate it more if it helps. So I really hope this helps you. It took me a little time, not a lot, to get all this figured out. As promised, the next time that I am on InstaChord, I will show you how I extract the actual MIDI information. Let's see if I can do an example before I finish this video. I'm not going to extract it, I'm just going to show you what you will see. Okay, so when you hold the, I think it's the C5 key, No, it's C4, sorry. When you do C4 and you do C5, I actually want to be very certain of what I'm telling you, so there's no mistake. Alright, so this would be C3. So let's go down here to make sure that it is, yes, this is the C3. If you should look in this area, you can see all the keys as how they'll be laid out on the keyboard. This is how they'll be laid out on the keyboard. You also see these keys highlighted here. And this is obviously the basic settings, C, E, G, C, E, G. That's how this MIDI was laid out. C, E, G, C, E, G. Exactly as it would be lit up. Right here. Yeah, that's it. That's all these keys laid out here. So if you haven't figured out to extract it, you can at least see the keys light up and see the names highlighted in this area and have an idea, you know, what are the notes for the voicing, what they would be on a keyboard. Anyway, have a good one. Hope to see you in the next video.